Guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today we're going to talk about all of this rumors and discussion going on about the poultry industry now accepting pokey poke clot shots for the chicken population here in America. And I listen, I don't just post stuff all the time. Sometimes I do. I see things and I'll post it and I'll share it and I'll make videos. But usually I try to do a little bit of digging on some topics before I post on them, and to make sure everything is on the up and up. Because I've made mistakes before. I've shared things that were patently untrue. And I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy who's promoting things that just are absolutely false. So I try to do at least a little bit of digging. And so I've encountered in the story some discrepancies, and I want to share those with you. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and get into the Twitter post. This one here from Peter McCullough. I should say X. If you're not following me on X, you're missing a gigantic and fantastic meme war that I post every day over there. If you're into amazing memes, follow me on X, and you can pick some up for yourself and screen capture those for you, and then share them with your friends. Okay, so over at X, it says U.S. conditionally approves avian flu pokey pokes or clot shots for poultry. Clot shot cartel gets closer to realizing its dream of vaccinating 308 million egg-laying hens in the United States, even though leaky clot shots are likely to result in new pathogens. Poultry clot shots have failed miserably in China, Southeast Asia for decades because it increases animal carriage of H5N1 and breeds resistant strains. Now America is about to make the same public health mistake. And the reason why we're about to dive into this public health mistake is because there's a whole bunch of money down at the end of the pool and everybody wants it, especially if you're in the pharmaceutical industry. If you're a lobbyist or some of these other people too that help facilitate these deals, there's a lot of money in it for you too. And so that's what's happening right now. And it's going to be Trump's administration, hopefully, that puts the kibosh on this. But he's got to be careful because he's got a lot of people probably in his administration or within these bureaucratic echelons that are also set to make money on these deals. And so we'll have to wait and see. The real thing that gets his attention, and he does pay attention on Twitter, is and this is what's happening right now. This is being shared crazy like on Twitter and X, X, whatever. It's getting people's attention, and people are very clear that they don't want this. And this is one of the reasons why so many people are pushing right now. If you want eggs, if you want chicken, if you want healthy meat in general, you need to be the ones to grow it. Grow it at home, or make deals with people who are growing this so that you can, work deals with that farmer who is dedicated to raising these animals in a sustainable and healthy way, and buy from him or her. Do that. So let's go ahead and get into this other post. Johnny Paradise says, Joel Salatin on bird sickies and egg prices. I have always suggested that the survivors should be kept for breeding in order to build flock immunity. This is such a basic animal genetic principle, it's not debatable. And yes, U.S. scientific protocol is kill the healthy ones. And I've talked about this a long time on my channel. If you want a healthy herd, if you want a healthy flock, it needs to be sink or swim. If you have an animal that comes up with some sort of discrepancy or has an issue with breeding or just staying alive in general, then it's best to call that animal from your herd. And I know there are people who've seen way too many Disney movies out there who just can't let their feels go through that sort of process.
Well, it's been a great day today. Can't wait for more.
Those animals that are not going to make it need to be removed and taken out of the herd. Sink or swim. Sink or swim. That needs to be your mantra as a homesteader, and you need to be able to do the hard things in order to keep your animals healthy. Now, this has been making the rounds from Science Magazine, science.org. It says, U.S. conditionally approves the pokey poke to protect poultry from the avian sickies. Now, I don't know about you. If this is such a horrible thing, a horrible disease, and it's so important that we as Americans address these bird sickies that are going around. Tell me why. I go outside every day, and I mean, we have cardinals here. We have doves here. We have wild turkeys here. We have crows here. All these birds. Variety. I have hummingbirds every year. You know, I love to bring in the hummingbirds. I have yet to see one, just one, sick or dying bird on the ground from the bird sickies. You know, the bird germs, the bird coughs, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to call it. I got to be careful with my words here because the algorithm hates me. They hate me good. So tell me why. Why does it only affect chickens? Why? What is the deal with this thing? If it really is true, and listen, this all is a scam. No one's gonna, not a real amount of people. Listen, remember earlier on when the corona, the beer sickness was going around and it was just getting started, and they told you on the news there would be bodies in the streets, literal bodies in the streets, just laying everywhere. I mean, and they showed these images coming out of China of bodies in the streets. Didn't happen. It was fake. It's all staged. But that's what they're doing now. They're trying to convince you that this is going to be the worst amount of sickies that have ever struck humanity. And to do something about it now, we've got to eliminate all these flocks around the country. And we're gonna come up with a pokey poke in order to make sure the flocks that we do have are safe for you. And aren't you grateful for that? That's what they're doing right now, and they're trying to convince. It's a scam. It's a pack of lies. It's got to stop. And the only way it stops is for you to get loud and obnoxious and to grow your own. Because nothing speaks louder than taking yourself out of the market and just saying, you know what, I'm going to have a few chickens. I'm going to have maybe some sheep on my property. Or maybe I've got enough room for 1 or 2 cows. Or to be able to have a milk cow. Or something. Nothing speaks louder than that. So do that. Go ahead and remove yourself from the market and say, you know what, I'm going to make my own. Or I'm going to support others who make their own. So let's go back to this article. With egg prices in the United States soaring because of the spread of H5N1 influenza virus among poultry, the U.S. Department of Agriculture yesterday conditionally approved a pokey poke to protect the birds. Oh, thank goodness. President Donald Trump's administration may therefore soon face a fraught decision on whether to join the ranks of other nations, including China, France, Egypt, and Mexico, that pokey poke their poultry against H5N1. So this article and other articles like this reporting on this news were spread far and wide all over the internet. And around the internet, you will see images like this, especially over on X. And this is supposedly showcasing the USDA reimbursements to egg farmers. Now, how this works is what they do is they go in and then they apparently tell the farmers, hey, here's the deal. I've got a bunch of money that I want to give you, but here's what you're going to have to do to get it. You're going to have to cull, that means kill, your entire flock. Well, why would I do that? Well, here's the deal. If for some reason we happen to randomly test your flock, and it just so happens that it comes back positive for this horrible, bird sicky disease that's going around, then we're going to annihilate your entire flock and you won't get a dime. So you can proactively cull your flock, and then we'll give you some money right off the bat. And that's how this list is being portrayed. That, hey, the U.S. government is approaching the farmers, giving them money to kill off their flocks. And this is where the discrepancy is I mentioned earlier in the video. I don't know if that's actually happening. I have yet to find any evidence, physical evidence of this happening. And I'll show you why. I don't doubt that it's happening. I like to see evidence. I'm from Missouri originally. I'm from the show me state. So show me the evidence. I have no doubt that there are millions upon millions of chickens that have been culled out of this country. It's happened in my own county. I'm not denying that's happening. It's happening. Why is it happening? What is the incentive of why it's happening? I don't know this yet. And let me show you why. So here's the list. And it supposedly shows all these millions of dollars that is being paid to these companies to cull their flocks. This is what I have not yet been able to find. So Sunrise Farms is listed right there near the top. Sunrise Farms, and they were paid $25 million, almost $26 million. And it's sure enough, if you do some research, you will find a Sunrise Farm operation that culled a whole bunch of chickens, an entire egg-laying operation in 2015. So this wasn't recent. This is like 10 years ago. 2015, the entire egg-laying operation in this one particular plant in Osceola County, I believe, is that it's Iowa? In Iowa. I think Osceola, I think Florida, but this was Iowa. So it eliminated it. So, but it doesn't say anything in the articles or anywhere I found that they were paid a certain amount of money to cull this 10 years ago. But they used a gas that they have now since found to kill these birds that destroys a whole bunch of equipment and other electronics and other things inside of these chicken barns. Because these chicken barns are pretty, high-tech places in some aspects. And they have a lot of equipment. They destroyed barn equipment, electrical wiring, all kinds of things. And so this company, Sunrise, is now suing the people, the contractors who carried out this because of the damage it caused. So again, I found no mention of any payments. And if I search for Sunrise Farms Incorporated, just like is in this document that's going around, $25,748,176, that's the amount of money, I come up with 0 results in Google. So what someone has mentioned on the internet is what this list is actually talking about is the amount of money the government funded into these companies to help them expand operations. And this was under the Biden administration. Now, I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying that people are sharing this list all far and wide, all over the internet, and I can't find anywhere on the internet where this list actually exists. If you know where, please send me an email. You can let me know at AmericanHomestead.com, my website. Go to my contact page and send me a document somewhere online where this list exists. I can't find it. Maybe you'll be able to find it. And what this list actually represents. You remember, look at this list. If you look at this list, every time it's shared, all it is a screenshot. It doesn't actually give you any title for what the list is for, except what someone says here, receipts, USDA reimbursements to egg farmers. But I can't find this list anywhere on the internet that says USDA reimbursements to egg farmers. And every time this guy here was being asked, hey, where's the source? Where's the link for this? He says, look it up yourself. Well, that's convenient. Again, I have no doubt that they are eliminating millions upon millions of chickens in this country. And I have no doubt. I mean, I've seen the evidence of the barn that exploded, killing, 18,000 cows a couple of years back. Remember we did a video on that one? There's no doubt in my mind they're trying to destroy the food supply. What I don't know for sure yet is the kind of money that's exchanging hands in order to make that happen. Listen, the reality is it comes down to this bottom line. You've got to be your own food producer. There's a lot of sketchy stuff out there. And the only way you avoid that sketchy stuff is to make and grow food on your own. You must do this. What do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts below. Please leave a comment and please share the video to get the word out. Maybe it's going to be you sharing it on social media somewhere that someone will say, hey, I know where that list is. I'll get in touch with this guy and then he can do a video on it and then I'll share it with you and let you know what I find. So it may be you sharing the video on Facebook or something else that allows that to happen. So thank you for sharing my videos. I really appreciate it. Be sure to hit the like button before you go. Hey, listen, I'm going to be speaking at the Okie Homesteading Expo coming up next month. And so if you're in Tulsa, if you're in Oklahoma City, or if you're anywhere in that area and you want to go to a fantastic homesteading expo, the Okie Homesteading Expo is the one you want to go to. It's going to be coming up this March. There's going to be all kinds of great homesteaders out there sharing all kinds of knowledge. I'm going to be speaking on there about homesteading topics, and it's going to be a great time. So come visit me. All the information you can find for this event is over at AnAmericanHomestead.com, AnAmericanHomestead.com, that link right there. And you click on that and you go to the events page up there at the top, and you can find all the details and all the information on that event, and then also other events I will be at later this year. Okay, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts below. See you next time at the Homestead. Bye. One of the best perks about living off-grid is that I never pay an electric bill. I love being my own power company, but that means when things go wrong, I have to be the one on call. So I try and use reliable components for my power production. For the last couple of years, I've been promoting OUPES solar generators. I've been using them and abusing them, and as it turns out, they are pretty good products. They have power generators for all occasions, and they can be charged by permanent or portable solar panels as well as AC power. They offer true lithium iron phosphate batteries, and this is important. Recently, a family in my area had a different brand that uses the less stable nickel manganese cobalt or NMC type batteries. The unit caught fire in the middle of the night. It was a scary situation and it caused damage to the home, but thankfully nobody was hurt. The generator, as you can see, was a total loss. This drives home the point on why it's so important to employ solar generators like the OUPES brand that uses the much more safe and stable technology of lithium iron phosphate, otherwise called LiFePO4. They offer small generators for travel or for powering an entire home and everything in between. These are great backups to have in a medical emergency or to power a freezer full of your favorite meat products, or as I have shown in past videos, for even backup AC and DC power sources for ham radio communications. If the grid goes down, you're going to be thankful you have one of these units. You can find the link in the description of this video or click on the banner ad found on the front page of our website, anamericanhomestead.com. Right here, that banner ad, right there, on anamericanhomestead.com. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of An American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. Oh wait.